Hi, friends, welcome. I just want to introduce you to a few words in unleavened bread tonight because we're preparing for Passover, and next week it will be Passover. So already we want to start to clean out our hearts and clean out our homes and our kitchens and our cabinets and all our homes of chametz. And chametz, of course, is leaven. And of course, chametz also refers to sin and puffiness. And when we make the challah, it's beautiful and it's delicious, but it rises up and it gets all puffy, and it's delicious for Shabbat and we delight in it. But when we come up to Passover, it's a time to start to ask God to look into our hearts and clear out all the chametz, clear out some of the places where we have ego or bitterness or jealousies or all the things that are not fruits of the spirit. Well, chametz, we call it as sin, or places where of sinfulness that we want to remove from our hearts. And again, we remove the chametz from our homes. In Jewish homes, actually, it's a tradition to the night before Passover to go through the house with a flashlight to make sure that you didn't leave any crumbs of chametz around the house. So all that to say that tonight, because we're a week before Passover, we still can eat chametz. But what happens sometimes is it's nice to just start a little early to start to take down that puffiness. And so tonight our letters are going to be in unleavened bread. So you can see it. We have the matzah behind me. And now I'm going to start with our words for tonight. And I just want to point out, you might have noticed on the matzah that I just showed before, but you might notice on the matzah, it has stripes on it, and it's got like a dark spot sometimes where it's like burnt, and it's also pierced with a fork. So I want to point that out because as we know that the matzah also is the bread of affliction, which represents Yeshua, who was pierced and his body was broken and bruised, and by his stripes we're healed. And of course, Yeshua is the Passover lamb. So the stripes, also the bread of affliction, as we know, it also is because of our ancestors, when they were slaves in Egypt, were afflicted by their all the hard work by the taskmasters. So we say the bread of affliction from, of course, that we'll read about again in the Seder next week, as we remember our ancestors were slaves in Egypt and did all the hard toil with making the bricks and building the cities that they had to do for the Pharaoh, and were afflicted with hard, bitter work and labor. And now I want to show you our first word. And I just mentioned that Yeshua is our Passover lamb, and our words today are all about Passover. So can anyone tell what this word is behind me? Let's see, maybe I should go by the rolling pin over there. Very good. This is Pesach. So Pesach is Passover. And Pesach is Strong's 6453. And that's before it's the bread, that's before I baked it. See here, it has the pierce marks and the bruise marks as well. So here is Pesach with a Pei, a Sameach, and a Chet, 3 letters. And this word is Pesach. The word we always say is Passover in English, but it's Pesach in the Hebrew Bible. You can see the first occurrence in Exodus 12:11. Also, you are to eat it this way, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. You are to eat it in haste. It is Adonai's Pesach. So, friends, the word Pesach actually comes to mean the feast of Passover, and where it comes from is Pachach, which is Strong's number 6452, which is the exact same consonants, just the vowelation is different. I'm not going to show you that behind me because I'm only doing the Hebrew letters. I'm not doing the vowels, but that would be pronounced more like Pasach. That's Strong's number 6452. Okay, so here we have the letters, and I'll just show you. It's the Pei. Aren't they beautiful too? I mean, they're like so beautiful. And this one I probably could have cooked a little more. It didn't get as much the burn. And this is the Sameach. And this is the Chet. Isn't that beautiful though? They're so beautiful. I just really love them. And you really feel the difference between the challah. I mean, again, yes, I love challah. When I did these, I just feel like your heart just starts to deflate, and you feel more the humility that we need to have in our walk with Messiah Yeshua. So with our walk with God. And I'm just going to read the Pasach is the word that actually means Passover, and that's from Exodus 12:13. For I will go through the land of Egypt on that night and strike down every firstborn, both men and animals, and I will execute judgments against all the gods of Egypt. I am Adonai. The blood will be a sign for you over your houses where you are. When I see the blood, I will pass over you. So there will be no plague among you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. Of course, that is where the word Passover comes from, Pesach. And we know that we'll read the Seder next week, the story of the Exodus from Egypt is repeated over and over again in the books of the Torah. And it's also repeated over and over again in the Jewish prayers. And every Shabbat, we remember the Exodus from Egypt. So we're also said when we go to the Seder this next week that we are also supposed to have like a personal experience on the Seder today too, of experiencing that deliverance. And of course, we experience that deliverance when we're past the blood of Yeshua redeems us and becomes our salvation. He is the Passover lamb. In John 1:29, it says, John sees Yeshua coming to him and says, behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. And we know that the night that Yeshua was crucified is actually it was actually Nisan 14, which is the exact day lined up in time of the Passover. It is actually on the Passover, and it said that his supper was the Last Supper. He was at a Passover Seder or Passover meal when he drank the cup of the blood of the new covenant that becomes our redemption, the ultimate redemption in him, the Passover lamb. Okay, so that Nisan 14 moves us to the next word. I think we might only have time for one more word because I think we're already over time. But the next word is a beautiful word, and it starts with a aleph. There it is in dough. It starts with an aleph. The next letter is going to be beit. So aleph, beit. Like remember, we had father. There we have father again. There's the fourth, the pierce the matzah with. And then the word that we're going to do right now that we're going to look at is the month of springtime, Aviv. So observe the month of springtime. In Deuteronomy 16:1, you were to observe the month of Aviv. There you have it, Aviv, the month of springtime. And keep the Passover to Adonai your God. For in the month of Aviv, Adonai your God brought you out from Egypt by night. And then again, for 7 days, you were to eat matzah. No hamid should be seen in all your territory. We're to take all the matzah out of our house for 7 days. It's very amazing. It's very beautiful if you start to read all this now. And you're going to want to do it too, because it's a prophetic act when we take out the hametz from our houses and just do that preparation work for Passover. There's so much more I want to share, but I think I'm just going to end with this verse from 1 Corinthians, because it ties together our hametz and the Passover and becoming new in the new season. Get rid of the old hametz, so you may be a new batch, just as you're unleavened. For Messiah, our Passover lamb, and that would again be Pesach or Peschenu, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed. Therefore, let us celebrate the feast, not with old hametz, the hametz of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread, the matzah of sincerity and truth. So friends, when you have, love to see you for the Passover communion next week together, and where we lift up the cup and the bread, and we, as Yeshua told us, to remember him until he will have it together with us when he returns. So friends, I just want to wish you a wonderful Seder and a very happy Pesach. And again, a Chag Sameach Pesach, a kosher and Pesach, a kosher Pesach, a happy Pesach, and a very blessed time as you relive and experience it anew, and blessed preparation time as well. So Chag Sameach, everybody, happy Passover, and I'll see you. Come join for a Passover communion if anybody wants. Just email me, and we can have a Passover communion together. It's going to be the Wednesday of Passover week. God bless you.